Welcome to English Speaking Corner. It is so nice to have you here in our quiet study space. Take a deep breath and settle in. Today, we are going to explore a very common situation that every English learner faces, and we are going to learn how to handle it with grace and confidence.
It is great to be here. I was thinking about how many times I have been in a conversation where everything is going well, and then suddenly my mind just stops. It is like a wall appears in front of me and I cannot find the word I need. It is a very frustrating feeling.
It truly is, and you are definitely not alone in that. That feeling of hitting a wall is what we are going to tackle today. We want to move away from that painful silence and toward what we call imperfect action. Before we dive into the lesson, if you find these calm lessons helpful for your speaking confidence, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. It helps us keep this corner quiet and focused for your study every week.
I think that is a great idea because consistency is really the key. I remember you mentioning the 1% rule before. Can we talk about how that applies to this feeling of freezing up in a conversation?
Absolutely. The 1% rule is the idea that if you improve by just 1% every single day, you will be 37 times better by the end of a year. When it comes to speaking English, that 1% improvement often means choosing to say something imperfect rather than saying nothing at all. Most of us wait for the perfect sentence to form in our heads before we open our mouths, but while we wait for perfection, the conversation dies.
That makes so much sense. So the goal is not to be perfect, but to keep the flow going, even if it is a bit messy.
Exactly. Let us start with a scene to help us visualize this. Imagine it's Tuesday morning, around 10:15. You're in the office pantry or the break room. You're standing by the coffee machine, and the smell of fresh coffee is in the air. A colleague from another department, let's call her Sarah, walks in. She's friendly, and she asks you about your current project. You start to explain it, but then you get to the part about the deadline. Suddenly, the word deadline disappears from your brain. You know the word, you have seen it 100 times, but right now it's gone.
I can feel the panic just hearing you describe it. My heart would start beating faster, and I would probably just look down at my coffee and stay silent.
That silence is what we want to fix. That silence is the perfectionism trap. Instead of staying silent, we can use what I call bridge phrases. These are small groups of words that act as a bridge between the thought you have and the words you're missing. They tell the other person that you are still there, you're still thinking, and you haven't finished speaking.
So instead of a gap, we're filling it with English. What is the first bridge phrase we should learn?
The most natural one to use when you're searching for a word is simply saying, "What is the word I'm looking for?" Let's try saying that together very slowly. What is the word I am looking for?
What is the word I'm looking for? It feels quite natural. It sounds like I'm just thinking out loud rather than being stuck.
Exactly. It shows confidence because you are comfortable enough to admit you're searching for a word. Let's practice that again, but this time imagine you're in that office pantry. Sarah is looking at you, waiting for your answer. You say, "The project needs to be finished by," what is the word I'm looking for? "Oh yes, the deadline."
That feels much better than just stopping. It gives my brain a few seconds to breathe. Are there other phrases like that?
Yes, another very common one is, "It's on the tip of my tongue." This phrase is wonderful because it literally describes the feeling of knowing the word but not being able to say it. It tells the listener that the information is right there, just out of reach. Let's practice the pronunciation of that one. It is on the tip of my tongue.
It is on the tip of my tongue. I like that one. It sounds very native.
It is very common in daily life, work, and travel. You can use it when you forget the name of a restaurant, a person, or a technical term at work. When you use this phrase, the other person will usually wait patiently or even try to help you find the word. This is the 1% rule in action. You are using a simple phrase to keep the social connection alive.
I notice that when I use these phrases, I feel less pressure. And when there's less pressure, the word I'm looking for usually comes back to me faster.
That is a very important point. Stress is the enemy of memory. When you panic because of the silence, your brain shuts down. When you use a bridge phrase, you relax and your brain can function again. Let us look at a third option. Sometimes you might not just forget a word, but you might find it hard to explain a complex idea. In that case, you can say, "Let me see how to put this."
Let me see how to put this. That sounds very professional. I could use that in a meeting, right?
Absolutely. It is a great phrase for professional settings. It shows that you are being careful with your words and that you want to be clear. It buys you at least 5 seconds of thinking time. Let us try to use it in our pantry scene. Sarah asks, "Why is the project delayed?" You can say, "Well, let me see how to put this. We had some technical issues with the server."
I can see how that would work. It sounds like I am choosing my words carefully rather than struggling with English.
Precisely. You are controlling the pace of the conversation. Now, let us talk about what happens if the word really does not come back to you. Even after using a bridge phrase, sometimes the word is just gone for the day. This is where we use the describing technique. Instead of giving up, you describe the thing you are talking about using simple words.
Can you give me an example of how to do that?
Let us go back to the word deadline. If you cannot remember the word deadline, think about what it means. It is a date. It is a time when something must be finished. So you can say, "What is the word?" "It is the date when the work must be done." Sarah will then say, "Oh, you mean the deadline?" And you say, "Yes, exactly, the deadline."
So I am essentially giving her a definition of the word.
Yes, and that is a brilliant speaking strategy. It is much better to use 5 simple words to describe something than to wait forever for one perfect word. Let us practice a few describing patterns. One common pattern is, "It is a thing that you use for," or "It is the person who handles."
Let me try. If I forget the word for stapler in the office, I could say, "It is the thing that you use for holding papers together."
Perfect. That is exactly it. You are using the English you already know to solve the problem of the English you do not know yet. This is how you build real speaking confidence. It is not about knowing every word in the dictionary. It's about being able to keep going no matter what.
This really changes how I look at mistakes. I used to think a mistake or a forgotten word was a failure, but now it feels like an opportunity to practice these bridge phrases.
That is the growth mindset we want to cultivate. Every time you forget a word, it is a chance to train your brain to be flexible. Let us try a longer practice now. I'm going to play the role of Sarah, your colleague in the office pantry. I want you to try to use at least one bridge phrase and one describing phrase if you get stuck. I will ask you about the office party next week. Are you ready?
I am ready. I will try my best to keep the conversation moving.
Hi there. Are you coming to the office party next Friday? I heard they are ordering food from that new place down the street.
Oh, hi, Sarah. Yes, I am definitely coming. I'm looking forward to it. I heard the food is... Oh, what is the word I'm looking for? It is the kind of food from Italy with the dough and the cheese.
Do you mean the new pizza place or the pasta house?
Yes, the pizza place. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh yes, it is called Tony's Pizza. I heard it is very good.
That was excellent. You stayed calm, you used a bridge phrase, and you described the food when you forgot the word Italian or pizza. How did that feel?
It felt much more natural. Even though I struggled for a second, the conversation did not stop. We were still communicating.
And that is the goal of communication. It is to share ideas, not to pass a grammar test. Now, let us spend some time shadowing these phrases. I will say a phrase slowly, and I want you, our listener, to repeat it out loud during the pause. Remember, speaking out loud is how you build muscle memory. Your mouth needs to practice these shapes. Let us start with the first bridge phrase. What is the word I am looking for?
What is the word I am looking for?
Good. Again, a bit more naturally this time. What is the word I am looking for?
What is the word I am looking for?
Now the next one. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It is on the tip of my tongue.
And the third one. Let me see how to put this.
Let me see how to put this.
Excellent. Now let us try a variation. Sometimes you can just be very honest and say, I have forgotten the word in English. This is also a great bridge phrase. It shows you are an active learner. Let us practice that. I have forgotten the word in English.
I have forgotten the word in English.
Now let us combine that with the describing phrase. I have forgotten the word in English, but it is the thing we use for, and then add your description.
I have forgotten the word in English, but it is the thing we use for. That is very useful. It gives a clear signal to the listener that I need a little help.
Yes, and people generally love to help. When you are honest about your struggle, it actually makes the other person feel more comfortable. It removes the tension. Think back to the anchor video we discussed earlier about how small daily changes lead to huge transformations. Using these phrases is a small change. It might feel tiny, but it completely changes your experience of speaking English. You go from being someone who is afraid to speak to someone who is confident in their ability to handle difficulties.
I really like that idea. It is like I am building a safety net for myself. If I fall, I have these phrases to catch me.
That is a perfect way to describe it. It's your linguistic safety net. Now, let us think about another scene to make this even more practical. This time, you are traveling. You're at a hotel reception desk. You want to ask for something, let us say an extra towel, but you forget the word for towel.
Okay, I'm at the desk. The receptionist is looking at me. I need to ask for that thing you use after you take a shower to get dry.
Exactly. Try to use the bridge phrase and the description.
Hello, could I have an extra... Oh, let me see how to put this. I forgot the word in English. It is the white cloth you use to get dry after a shower?
The receptionist would immediately say, "Oh, a towel? Of course, I'll send one up." You see, you got exactly what you needed without knowing the specific word in that moment.
It really works. It is actually quite empowering. I feel like I have a superpower now. I don't have to know everything. I just have to know how to explain what I don't know.
That is the secret of many fluent speakers. Fluency is not about having a perfect vocabulary. It's about having the tools to navigate around the gaps in your vocabulary. We all have gaps, even native speakers. Sometimes I forget words in my own language, and I use these exact same phrases.
That is very encouraging to hear. I think sometimes we learners think that native speakers are perfect and never struggle for words.
Not at all. We use fillers like and like all the time. But phrases like, "What is the word I'm looking for?" are much more elegant and helpful. They keep the listener engaged. Let's talk about the rhythm of these phrases. When you are nervous, you might want to speak very fast. But for these bridge phrases, it is actually better to speak slowly. It gives you more time to think.
So I should slow down my speech when I use them.
Yes, let's practice that slow, calm rhythm. Imagine you are very relaxed. You are just thinking out loud. Let me see. How to put this? Try to match my speed.
Let me see how to put this.
Much better. When you slow down, your brain has a chance to catch up with your mouth. This is the calm study space we want to create for you here at English Speaking Corner. No pressure, just clear, slow, and effective practice.
I can feel my heart rate slowing down just by practicing this way. It is very different from the high-pressure environment of a classroom or a busy street.
That is why we are here. We want to provide you with a gentle guidance. Now, let us look at some common mistakes people make when they forget a word. The biggest mistake is saying, "I'm sorry, my English is bad."
Oh, I say that all the time. Why is that a mistake?
Because it is negative self-talk. It reinforces the idea that you are failing. It also makes the conversation feel heavy and awkward. Instead of apologizing for your English, just use a bridge phrase. Using a bridge phrase is a sign of a good speaker, not a bad one. It shows you are managing the conversation. So let's make a rule. No more saying, "My English is bad." Instead, we say, "What is the word I'm looking for?"
I like that rule. It feels much more positive. It is a growth mindset choice.
It truly is. Another mistake is just stopping and waiting for the other person to guess what you want to say. This can be very tiring for the listener. It puts all the work on them. By using a bridge phrase or a description, you are doing your part in the conversation. You are helping the listener help you.
That makes sense. Communication is a two-way street. I need to give them something to work with.
Exactly. Let us do another shadowing round. We will practice the bridge phrases again, but this time I will add a little bit of a description at the end. I want you to repeat the whole thing. Ready? Phrase 1. It is on the tip of my tongue. It is the thing we use to open the door.
It is on the tip of my tongue. It is the thing we use to open the door.
Phrase 2. What is the word? It is the person who brings food in a restaurant.
What is the word? It is the person who brings food in a restaurant.
Phrase 3. I forgot the word, but it is the place where you buy stamps.
I forgot the word, but it is the place where you buy stamps.
You are doing great. Notice how each of those descriptions used very simple words. Thing, person, place, use, buy. These are all A2 level words, but they allow you to describe almost anything in the world. This is how you take the 1% rule and apply it to your daily life. You do not need to learn 500 new words today. You just need to learn how to use the words you already have more effectively.
I feel like I am learning how to be a more creative speaker. It is almost like a game. How can I describe this word using only simple English?
It is a wonderful game to play. You can even practice this at home by yourself. Look at an object in your room, like a lamp or a clock, and try to describe it without using its name. For example, it is a thing that sits on the desk and gives light so I can read.
That is a great exercise. I'm going to try that later today. It will help me prepare for those moments when my mind goes blank in a real conversation.
That is exactly the kind of small daily habit that leads to big changes. If you do that for just 5 minutes every day, your speaking confidence will grow immensely. Now, let us talk about the opening segment we discussed earlier, that moment in the office pantry. We have learned the phrases, we have practiced the rhythm, and we have the right mindset. Let us try to put it all together in one final, long dialogue simulation.
Okay, let's do it. I'll try to be as calm as possible.
Hi there. I noticed you've been very busy lately. Is everything going okay with the new project?
Oh, hello. Yes, it has been a very busy week. We are working hard to finish everything before let me see how to put this. What is the word I am looking for? It is the date when we must complete the work?
Oh, you mean the deadline for the launch?
Yes, the deadline. Thank you. It is on the tip of my tongue, but sometimes I just forget. Anyway, the point is we are on track, but there is a lot to do.
That was perfect. You acknowledged the struggle, you used the bridge phrase, you described the word, and then you continued with the rest of your thought. You did not let the forgotten word stop you from finishing your sentence.
It felt very smooth, and because I didn't panic, the word deadline actually came back to me right as you said it.
That often happens. When you relax, your memory opens up. This is why these phrases are so powerful. They are not just about English. They are about managing your own emotions and your own brain. As we prepare to wrap up this lesson, I want you to remember that speaking English is a journey of many small steps. Every time you choose to keep speaking instead of staying silent, you are winning.
I feel much more prepared for my next conversation. I am actually almost looking forward to forgetting a word so I can try out these phrases.
That is the spirit. That is a true growth mindset. Before we go, let us do one last review of the phrases we learned today. I will say them one last time, very slowly, and you can repeat them after me. What is the word I am looking for?
What is the word I am looking for?
It is on the tip of my tongue.
It is on the tip of my tongue.
Let me see how to put this.
Let me see how to put this.
I have forgotten the word in English.
I have forgotten the word in English.
It is the thing that you use for.
It is the thing that you use for.
Wonderful. You have done a great job today. Remember, your English does not have to be perfect to be effective. The goal is connection and communication. If you enjoyed this quiet study space, please remember to like this video and share it with a friend who might also be struggling with speaking confidence. Your support helps us grow and help more learners like you.
And do not forget the challenge for today. Try to describe 3 objects in your house using only simple words and practice saying one of our bridge phrases out loud while you do it. It only takes 5 minutes, but it is that 1% change that makes all the difference.
That is a perfect next step. Thank you so much for joining us at English Speaking Corner. Put on your headphones, listen back to this episode whenever you need a boost of confidence, and watch your English become smoother and more confident, one episode at a time. You are doing much better than you think you are. Keep going, and we will see you in the next lesson.
Goodbye for now, and happy practicing. You have got this.
We really believe in your progress. Every word you speak is a building block for your future confidence. When you feel that moment of doubt, just remember the coffee machine, the friendly colleague, and the fact that you have the tools to keep the conversation moving. You are not just learning a language, you are learning how to be a more resilient and capable version of yourself. This is the beauty of language learning. It challenges us, but it also gives us so much in return.
It really does. It is about more than just words. It is about the courage to express ourselves in a new way. And with these bridge phrases, that courage feels a lot easier to find. I am excited to see how much I can improve by just applying this one small habit.
And we are excited to be part of your journey. Take this feeling of calm and confidence with you into the rest of your day. Whether you are at work, at home, or out with friends, remember that you have the power to stay in the conversation. You have the phrases, you have the mindset, and you have our support. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to our next quiet study session together.
See you soon. Stay calm and keep speaking.
Let us think about one more thing before we finish. Sometimes when you use a bridge phrase, the other person might not know the word either. That is okay too. You can both laugh about it and find another way to say it. This is how real friendships are built, through shared moments of struggle and success. Don't be afraid of the messy parts of conversation. They are often the most human and the most rewarding.
That is a great point. It makes the whole process feel less like a performance and more like a real connection. I think that's what I was missing before. I was so focused on the performance that I forgot about the connection.
Connection over perfection. That's our model for today. Let that sink in. Connection over perfection. When you focus on connecting with the person in front of you, the English will follow. You are doing a brave thing by learning to speak a second language, and you should be very proud of yourself. We certainly are proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot. I feel ready to go out there and try this.
Go for it. Use your 1% rule, use your bridge phrases, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Every conversation is a new adventure. We'll be here waiting for you in the next episode to continue this journey together. Take care of yourself, stay positive, and remember to speak out loud. Your voice is important, and the world wants to hear what you have to say, even if you have to use a bridge phrase to say it.
Truly, your voice matters. See you soon.
Until next time, this is English Speaking Corner, a quiet place for your big goals. Keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep moving forward. You are becoming a more confident speaker with every single minute you spend here with us. We will see you very soon in our next lesson. Goodbye.